here.
We're back.
Yeah,
Sweet Subversives is back.
I
After
know.
a
After a
week,
hiatus, two week break.
I bet you guys missed us. And we're like, oh, how can we get by without Cara and Heather?
I know, right?
It,
Just
it it's
just can't
true.
get enough. I just can't get enough.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. I feel like we should have a dance party and just do that for the rest of the show.
Maybe that's what we'll do for New Year's.
Yes. Oh my God. We've done that. We've had dance parties and they're crazy. So, yes, that would be funny. People like, what the hell? Those two white girls don't know how to dance at all.
Has never stopped us.
It never, ever will stop us. I
No.
guarantee. So, what's new with you, Cara? Like, people are actually watching. I'm like, we could talk about anything. No, there's 5 people, so whatever, okay.
Like city council, we're wrapping up budget and all the end of the year stuff. We got some stuff happening with the LP.
Oh, yeah.
So this weekend is the LNC meeting. They were going to have it in California, but California really clamped down. And so now I believe they're doing it virtually, which good luck to them because this is the budget one. So this is kind of a complicated, emotional meeting to try to have online. So man, good luck to them.
Oh, I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
We need to have that stuff figured out.
Yeah. So and it's budget and setting priorities for the coming year and all that kind of stuff. So I needed to get my staff report in. All the other staffers did. Hi, Jared. Jared gets to enjoy the budget meeting virtually. So
it's a lot of hard work and doing things virtually. Some things are easier, but some things are definitely not.
Yeah. So, Jared, may Jesus be with you and hopefully you don't have to like flip tables like Jesus did.
It's like, I have enough of this. Let's turn some water into wine. Let's go.
Exactly. So, yeah. So
enjoy.
That's, right. Enjoy. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Enjoy.
So, yeah, those are kind of some of the things that we're seeing with the LP and the LNC. So that'll be the big thing. And one thing I do really like about the Libertarian Party is the transparency. If you want to read any of the emails that the LNC board is sending and discussing and all that kind of stuff, they have that posted in a Google group so you can read through it all. It's very transparent. The meeting is live streamed, whether it's in person or not. They have it live streamed, so members can see everything that's happening and how it's done and what the interaction is and all that kind of stuff. So I really like that about our party.
I do too. It reminds me, this is my analogy, it's cheesy. It reminds me of a restaurant that you can see the kitchen. And if the kitchen's clean, the food's going to be good.
Exactly.
And if you can see what our leaders are doing, it's going to be good. Oh my God. This is the show where Cara gets naked.
Yeah.
She's on fire. Girl on fire.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, what's this say? I want to know what's better than the LNC budget meeting.
Exactly.
Having 80 perspective.
Yeah. Let me tell you, we have states that are working their butts off on 2021 and 2022. And I've seen Jared's spreadsheet for his state, and it is looking pretty damn fine. Illinois is looking really good. We have a lot of states. Texas is looking good. We have a lot of states that are really bringing in some good candidates. We have Ohio who is doing like this whole, we have Ohio that is doing this whole big training regimen for their candidates so that they're ready. The things that the state affiliates are doing for candidates and organizing their affiliate and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty incredible.
That's freaking awesome. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna have amazing elections the next couple years. Oh
Yep.
man, 179 is a full slate for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be a
Man,
full slate.
that is a full slate. I just feel like we have this great momentum off of a presidential year, and then
We do.
people are super excited about running. And I think
Yes.
that's wonderful.
And we have so many new activists that have joined, which
Yes.
is incredible.
It, I think sometimes when you see a dumpster fire of a year, you're just like, we got to change some stuff. Shit's got to change. And
Yeah.
I think we get amazing people who are just stepping up with great new energy.
Oh God, yeah. And and we've had some people who are elected to office, and they may have been elected as a part of a different party, but then they switched. So let's see. I have a couple of them here. So we have Francisco Ramirez, and he helped Kalish with her campaign. He is the vice mayor in their city in California, and so he switched. We have Matthew Kennedy, who is
Oh,
a indie person, New Haven City Council, and he switched. We have Michael Maines, and he's for Harrison City Council in Ohio. Uh, really great elected. I've had some great interactions with him. Smart guy, really smart guy.
mm.
I believe he's up for re-election in 2021. But he helped with Kevin Can's campaign. Blah, I know,
Did anyone say that? That's a lot.
I know. It's and so it's kind of amazing how when people are, you know, when people are running for office and then the people that they bring in to help them with their campaign, the support that they get from other people in their campaign, the friendships that they make, and then that brings people into the party because people see what libertarian really is. Like, what is it? Who are the people who are part of this party? What are they like? What are their ethics like? And people see that and they're like, yes, I want that. I want more of that.
Yeah,
So, we've had great electoral success. We have a great 2021 and 22 shaping up. And we also have some phenomenal people who thought that they were perhaps one party and then realized, no, they're really libertarians. And then we get to welcome them home.
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I think back to when I was a baby libertarian, and like you get fed lies about other parties, and
Yes.
and I think it's true for libertarians. I think it's true for all the parties. You kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
I have respect for lots of people, but I think the worst lies I ever heard were about Libertarian Party before I came over, and I think just meeting people, you're like, oh, I was fed bullshit. Now I know the truth.
Yes. That's exactly right. Yep.
So
Yeah.
I just think, and it's kind of like the more we get out, I'm just like, I wonder who's checking in. This is one of those things.
A mystery person.
Yeah, a mystery person. So I try to look, and then I accidentally click on it, and then you hear two of us at the same time. I'm like, oh, my tech skills, dang it. So hello, checking in. But I just think it's kind of an amazing time for people to get into it. I mean,
Mhm.
like you don't have to run, but you can help people run. And if you like somebody and you're
Yes.
like, they would be a great candidate, help them win, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say, like, I see a lot of downer posts. Travis Mitchell, thank you. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. There. Shenanigans. Yes, we do. I mean, yeah, I just think it's an amazing time, and it's like, what app should I follow with? Wait, of all the libertarians everywhere, or us? I'm confused. Yes. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to get a hold of everyone on the internet. Google that shit. So, yeah, what else then? Like, there's so much.
Hmm. Yeah. So I mean that's kind of the exciting stuff that's happening in the LP right now. Um, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss next week after the meeting. There'll be a lot of information, and we'll get to see what does the LNC see as their priorities for the next year. And the budget is how they do set their priorities. They can, how what people say is a priority is one thing, but then you find out what is, because that's what they allocate time, money, resources to. So we'll see that. Uh, if so, as of January 15th, I believe, um, our will we have an interim director for right now, executive director for the LP.
Yeah.
Um, So thank you to Dan Fishman for his year of service. He's done some amazing things setting us up process-wise, technology-wise, executing on what the LNC said was, their vision for it. So, a lot of thanks to him. We have Tyler is going to be our interim director and is our interim director as of I think yesterday. Uh, and very smart guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't make a lot of waves. I don't know that a lot of people know him or are familiar with him because he's one of those people that just work really hard and they don't, splash everything around and
But
all
they're
that
my
kind of
favorite
stuff.
kind of people
Yeah,
because they get
he's
stuff done.
exactly. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure they're going to do a search for an executive director, but I haven't heard much about that. So if
Oh,
there are people out there who you're thinking to yourself, "Hey, I have those skills," I have experience managing an organization and I have proven success and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, then you might want to start polishing up your resume. So,
yes. It's a wonderful opportunity. And you get to work with Kara.
okay, that's probably not a benefit.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think I love working with you, Kara. You're the best coworker ever on the Sweet Subversive, but we also drink and know things here, so
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
little
Speaking of
different.
that, what are you drinking and knowing?
Oh, I am drinking my new hop tea. I'm finishing out the rest of this month, trying to not drink too much. So hop tea is a non-alcoholic tea that is brewed like a beer with hops. So it's no calories, and this one has no caffeine, and it's called the Blooming One, and it has butterfly pea tea and
Ooh,
pink boots hops blend. And let me show you. This thing is damn pretty. It's like a purpley pinky color, so perfect
it's
for sweet
beautiful.
subversives. It is the most beautiful thing ever. And I also admit that I kind of now want to buy a beer with this kind of hops in it because I'd like to just see what the
Oh,
alcoholic version would be like too.
I wonder if you can search that out and
Oh yeah, we have our friend Laura Lavoie who is beer mistress of
oh,
Dora,
yes, she
and
can search that out.
she already says she knows of a couple. So when I hit next month, I'm
There
gonna
you go.
be definitely getting some of that kind of beer because it is so good. So this is my favorite out of like the hop teas that I've had so far. I like this one. I think the green tea and the chamomile one the best.
The chamomile one so far is my favorite, but I haven't tried those other ones that you got. Like
Yeah.
that one, and you got a different one too,
Then
right?
the Citra hops one, it's
Yes.
pretty good, but it's a little more hoppy. It's okay.
Oh, eh,
So I'm thinking, I don't think they're actual really hoppy one. I just it's so much,
it is.
and I'm not an IPA person, so I'm like, meh. It says knows Heather would rather be drinking. I would rather be drinking a beer probably, but eventually, get through this diet month, and then I will be
Yes.
having beer and cocktails again.
So how is the diet going?
It's going so well, Kara. Okay, I'm about like I think by next week I should be at my halfway point. And I've been
Wow.
like, working really, really hard at it. And I only cheated a little bit over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I am down about 20 pounds now.
Holy crap. Over
Yes.
what time period?
Officially I started on August 27th. That was my
Yeah.
highest point, and then it kind of went up and down, and then I got hardcore serious on after the 12th, and then it's been going straight down. So I've been exercising and not drinking alcohol.
That's the big one.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
really, it is. That's the big one.
Even if I just cut out the not drinking alcohol thing, I think I probably lose a lot of weight that way anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, not hardly eating
It's worse
bread.
than pop. It's
Oh
worse
my
than pop.
god. And I still drink some diet pop, I mean, I have a can right here that's like empty. So I mean, like, it's not like I'm
I
not
have a
doing
can
it.
here.
Yeah.
Although I am having
Ooh.
I'm having limoncello.
I
I've
love
been
lemon.
making limoncello.
Oh, okay. You have to talk about how you do that because that's one of my favorite
It is
alcohols.
so good, and I mean
Oh my,
it beats the crap out of anything you buy, like
yes,
purchased. Holy cow.
because the
And I
stuff
mean
they
it
sell from here.
smells like summer. Like it smells like you're in a citrus orchard. It's kind of amazing.
Are you using your lemons from your little lemon tree?
No, although that's a lime tree,
Oh, it's a
but
lime
no.
tree. I'm sorry.
So, how you make it isn't that difficult. It just takes a little time, but it's really not that hard to make. You can use Everclear. I do not. Okay. Um, right.
I
That's pretty
agree
much
with
it.
you.
That's true.
Okay, so go into this because I
Yeah.
love that and I want it.
Yeah. So you get like a good quality vodka. You can do Everclear, but I think that's a little
It's
too
too
much.
strong. Yeah,
And so you do like a liter of vodka
big.
in some type of jar.
Okay,
And then you need to zest and only the zest
not the
from
light or anything
right.
else.
So carefully zest. 10 lemons. You're not going to use any lemon juice at all. There's no
Okay.
lemon juice in it.
Could
Eh,
you like as like you use lemons in your house? Could you save it like freeze the
I
zest? Or,
so I zest all the lemons and then I just stick the rest of the lemon in the freezer. And
oh,
then when
that's
I want to
good.
use the lemon for cooking or something like that, I just get one out and let it sit on the counter and it thaws out and I use it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I was
So
just
it's
thinking like
fine.
I wouldn't want to waste all the lemon.
No, God, no. No. So then you just put all that zest from the 10 lemons into that jar, right? And
Hmm.
then you let it sit for like 2, 3 weeks.
Oh, I could do that.
And
Yeah.
then you pour it through a filter so that you don't have any of the zest go in there. And it's clear. It's absolutely clear, right?
Oh, yes.
And then you do a simple syrup of sugar and water.
Yeah.
And you mix it in there. And I can't remember the ratio. I have it written down. And you add it in there. And when you add the sugar and water in there, it turns yellow. But until then, it is absolutely clear vodka.
What
It's just bizarre.
happened?
I don't know. Some like chemical thing happens, obviously. Um, but it doesn't taste like a lemon drop because I was like, well, that must just taste like a lemon drop
Yeah, because
because
you think
a
the
lemon drop
sugar.
is just you know lemon juice, simple syrup, and vodka, right? So it's a
Oh,
lemon drop. It does not taste like a lemon drop.
whoa.
Using just that zest, that oil, because that's what you're
Mm,
getting out. It's pulling the oil out of the zest.
the pure flavor.
Holy cow. I mean, it is on a completely different level and it smells amazing. It tastes amazing. It looks wonderful.
So what
I
are
love it.
you just drinking it or is it like you mix it with something?
Nope, it's like an aperitif. So
Just a
usually
little
it's like
sugar.
after dinner,
Oh my
you
God.
just pour a little bit. You can either just chill it and pour it and drink it. You can pour a little over ice and drink it. I mean, it is really good. But yeah, it's meant to like just kind of be like an after dinner drink to kind of settle your stomach or, mellow out or, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
you can make it with grapefruit. You
Oh,
can
really?
make it with oranges.
Oh,
You can
anything
make
with
it with
lime
limes,
flavor.
but I think it tastes like shit. That's
Well,
just me.
limes, I
And I
just don't
like
like it.
lime.
Oh, I like lime, the juice, but I don't know if I like the actual, yeah.
Mm-mm,
It
no.
might not turn out well. Yeah, I was thinking like when we were in Italy, I had like some of the best limoncello in my life, and I had I want that. I want it again. Also, I want to travel, but you know, I want to go to Greece, and I want to have olive oil and olives and eat fish from the ocean, and yeah, okay, all of that.
Well, and we can do that after we get our health chips embedded into our bodies
Oh
and
God.
give up
Yeah.
all of our medical
Oh, like
data.
have barcodes on us and chips embedded in your skull, and then they'll check your temperature and give you an anal probe when you get on an airplane, like just to make sure everything is cool. And
Yeah. And
why?
they're all the airlines are saying that they're going to go to that you are going to have to show on your phone that you've been vaccinated or you are not allowed
Well,
on a
I
plane.
thought you were gonna say we're gonna have the anal probes. I'm like,
Well,
well,
that's
that
you. That's
could
this, you
be
got to
a
pay
selling
extra.
point.
That's um that's premium.
Buy a sailboat, sail the world. Yes, Travis. I agree. I'm not a really good boater, but I think it is much more tempting now. They probably find some way to get you. Some guy would jump on your boat and go, "Hey, by the way, like, can I test you for COVID right now?" And you'd be like, "Stop! Get off
Yeah,
the
third base required.
boat!"
That's right, bad.
I agree. Anal
Oh,
probes for the win. That's how we win this. Is with the anal probes.
that's
And,
right.
and and you're like, you can go out and go to restaurants, have fun, travel the world, but we gotta stick something up your butt. You're like, okay.
You're like, oh, okay. So this is actually very imaginative.
Yes.
So in Minnesota, for people who don't know, in Minnesota, our restaurants are closed down. They can only do carry out, takeout.
Yes,
No
it's a
indoor dining, no
total
outdoor
ban.
dining, no dining, right? No
No,
dining.
none of it.
So, um, what a hotel is doing, and I foresee this spreading and having hotels partnering with restaurants.
Oh,
So, a hotel, you can rent a room for 3 hours. Up to four people can rent a room for 3 hours. And then you get a 7 course um, room service meal delivered to your room during that 3 hours.
oh, oh! I love it. Oh
And
my
the price
god.
isn't even bad. So to
Oh,
rent the room is $65, and then the 7 course meal is $110 per person. For a 7 course meal, that's not bad.
no, that is
That's
really
not bad,
good. 3 and
right?
then you can get laid. It's all good.
You can have an orgy. Just saying. That'd be part of dessert.
3-person tour.
But that totally fits within the executive order,
It
right?
does. You're right. What a smart person who thought of that. I love that.
Exactly. So I copied because there was an article done it. I copied that article and sent it out to people I know in the restaurant and hotel industry, and I was like, y'all might want to partner.
I know it, right? Because like these
Restaurants need
restaurants
to
are
serve food.
people want to eat food, and you can make it really nice. I mean,
Exactly.
because I mean, really, like, who's doing takeout from a fancy restaurant?
I
Like,
mean, there's going to be a market for that.
oh my god, right? I would
You know, and
totally.
the hotels would know ahead of time, people prepay. So,
Yeah.
it's not as risky for the restaurant. Hotels, they can't even beg, borrow, or steal to get people to stay, because people aren't traveling. So, yeah, I mean, you're renting for 3 hours, but
I wonder. Okay, this is how where my brain goes. What if you got adjoining rooms? Just saying, some rooms are built that way with the door in
they are.
between, and not
It
like
could happen.
you could just say, "Can you put us by each other?" We won't go there, and then you totally go there. But still,
Well, and how they have it set up is they bring each course to you, and then they leave you open the door, and you bring in your your meal, your course, and then
yeah.
when you're done, you set it outside and text,
Oh,
and then they bring you the next course.
dude, this is the best thing
So it's no
ever.
contact.
no contact. You get delicious food. And, like the rooms could be set up just like for dining. They don't have to worry about like all the other stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, just like how they do for when you have conventions and that kind of stuff, when they have party rooms and they remove the beds, they
Yeah.
could do that. They could just remove the beds and store them because they're not needed.
And they could space the rooms far enough apart so people won't really have any contact with each other. I mean, and it doesn't matter because you're in a different room and they have good ventilation. Yeah, dude, this is amazing. What a good
Right?
idea. There's
I
always
know
a
it.
workaround. I'm like, that is one of the only things that I'm evil in is like if somebody's like, is there a workaround? I'm like, oh yes, I can figure out workarounds. I love workarounds. If there's a rule, oh yes.
Seven
I
course
gotta post
dining
that.
sponsored by
7 course
Pornhub.
dining sponsored by Pornhub. you know, there's a will, there's a way. I don't know if I'd want to eat like the Pornhub sponsored meal just by the sound of it. You're like, wait, what's in this? But
Lots of whipped cream.
lots of whipped cream. You're like, I thought I was eating dessert, but it's edible underwear.
Right.
But it's still good.
Right. I love me some fruit roll-ups.
Yeah. And I've been on low carb so long, I'd probably eat it. Like sugar.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom. So yes, I think that is a wonderful idea. I kind
Yeah.
of
See, people are inventive.
I love it.
I mean, I hate that businesses are being pushed to try to come up with these truly convoluted ways just to try to exist, like
Yes.
to hold on and not be bankrupt. Oh my God, footlongs. That's hilarious. Yes, if Pornhub was doing the courses, it might be a foot long.
uh, our show is the worst. How do we go this way? It's because we have awesome, awesome listeners who are freaking hilarious. I love it.
Yes,
I love you guys.
yes, exactly, exactly. But yeah, but but at least places are trying to figure out somehow somehow
How
to
can we
survive.
survive? Especially the second time. The first time was heartbreaking. This
Yeah.
time is just like devastating.
Well, it is because these businesses don't have the cash reserves that they had in the spring. It's not like they had a ton of cash reserves, but they did have some cash reserves. And this time around, they have nothing. Like many of them were already in debt at this point, right? So now they're really boned
Yeah, they are so boned.
and
It's
not by Pornhub.
no, and no sponsors.
No, no.
Oh, I know. I kind of feel like we got to capitalism our way out of this shit. Wait, would a Pornhub room with food would welcome a camera. I know, right? You're in a hotel room already. I mean, like oh man, yeah. Some of these restaurants are like, there's ASMR channels where people just want to
Oh,
watch somebody
yeah.
eat. You're like, your dinner is free, but you have to like be on
Yeah, that's
camera.
another way they can monetize it.
They totally could. It's like, are you willing to eat crab legs on camera? Then this
I
is
would. I don't
the
care.
I know. I'd be like, I don't really don't care. Like, especially if I get free crab legs. I mean, I
No
wouldn't even be
kidding.
smart enough to be like, oh, are you gonna pay me? I'd be like, pay me in crab legs, bitches.
Yeah, I know. Crab legs and oysters? Okay.
I know we can actually eat a lot of those. We're not like huge women but we can eat seafood like crazy people. So that would be our target market. Oh, the liquor license are due this month. There's going to be a lot of bars going under.
Although I think they're gonna just do a liquor license holiday.
Are they?
Yeah.
That would be smart.
Our town already did. But I think they're gonna do that at the
Good.
state level.
They have to. I mean, like all these businesses, and they need something. Like if they're going to close everybody down at Christmas time, like the biggest time of the year, which is what I expect them to do. Did
I
he say
know.
anything today? I missed his little
I
pep talk.
can't watch it. Yeah,
I
I can't watch
can't.
it.
I always read about it later, and I go, "Yeah, I'm glad I didn't," because I just scream, I just scream, and I'm like, "No,
Well,
no,
I know I think yesterday. Was it yesterday?
yeah."
Might have been.
Wait,
Um,
today's
he,
Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday.
yeah, he said that he would like a mandatory vaccine bill on his desk and then he would sign it.
Mandatory. You can't make everybody do it. It's
Au contraire.
oh really? Oh, that's terrifying.
If you make a law.
My parents were saying today that in the UK that they have a vaccine and they're looking at trying to get it out starting even next week.
Well, we're looking at 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Oh
Mhm.
my God. So mandatory in 2 weeks so that way people can have Christmas or turn into zombies. One or the other.
Oh, trust me, not everyone's getting this.
Oh, it's at the
So,
front line?
I mean, we're one of the 4 test states, so it will be healthcare workers first,
Yeah.
and then long-term care facilities second. And that will pretty much take care of that whole batch of vaccines. And so then they have to once a month they'll be making batches of vaccines and getting them shipped out, and then it goes to other people. So, you and I are in the general population
We're
section.
nobody's.
We're not seeing it for months. It's gonna be
Which
months.
the thing that
Which which
scares
is why which is why they're saying that distancing, masking, all of that stuff, the capacity limits, that will be in place through Q3 or possibly Q4 of 2021.
what happens if you give all the medical people this vaccine and they all get sick? I mean, theoretically, they probably all won't, but
Right.
I'm just saying, like, what if there's a large percentage where things go bad? I don't want them. I don't want people to grow horns. I don't want like something weird to happen. But at the same time, like, yes, I know a lot of people are like, go, go, go. Let's get done with this. Because I mean, who doesn't want to be done with this?
Right.
But I'm a
I mean,
little
we'll see. I think children are the very last group that will be vaccinated. Of course, that's about 26% of our population. So that's a sizable portion of our population, but
yeah.
it's going to be a while to roll this out. And the things with the two, so there's 3 vaccines. 2 are getting approved and shipped. The third one isn't to that point yet. It's not ready to apply for that uh, speedy adoption. But the 2 that are approved, and those are the ones that will be going out, those are the ones that are the RNA type vaccines. And those are not a live vaccine. They're not a dead vaccine. They're like a totally different type of vaccine that we've never used before. Yep, zombies,
Oh,
zombies, zombies. Yep,
I watched too much Walking Dead for it to not happen in my life.
exactly. But so the purpose of the vaccine and what they're being measured against is suppression of symptoms.
Okay. But not the virus.
But not, so when they say they're 90% effective or 95%, that's on symptom suppression, right?
Okay.
Um, but we don't have the data on do they prevent infection and do they prevent transmission? And that we don't know, and we won't know until we have a lot of people
Just use it.
using it, and then we find out.
So you say third quarter for the rest of us? So that means like next fall?
Yeah, so Q3 or Q4. And
Okay.
it may be that the vaccines are rolled out by then, but since they don't know if it prevents spread instead of just symptom suppression, they don't know. It
Yeah.
could. It
Well,
could. We don't know that, but we don't know, and it wasn't tested for that
yeah, it really
because
wasn't.
that wasn't what it was created for or to do.
Is it going to help
So
with survivability then? Is that what the point of it is? So like you get
that's what
it.
they're hoping, is that the symptoms are much less severe.
Okay. But then these people won't have symptoms and they're going to go out and think they're not sick, but they're actually spreading.
We don't know.
Oh, well,
We
that's
don't
pretty
know.
fun.
We don't know. I
We
mean,
don't
and so
know.
that's why they're saying after the vaccine, nothing changes
Okay.
because we don't know.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be? I mean, like,
But
part of me is
they need
really
to
like,
start saying that.
they need to say it, but people don't hear
They
it.
need to say it.
And honestly,
Well,
you saying
shit.
it was the first time I've even heard somebody say that. That makes me mad because I'm like, you hear
They
about
need to start
90%,
saying it.
like 90%, and I'm like,
People are expecting it to work as a usual vaccine, like a preventative vaccine, right?
it's not what it's.
That's what they are expecting. And they are not getting that message out to people
No.
that this is what we know, this is what we don't know, this is the intended use of it. This
Yeah.
is the intended result of it. It may have other good results. We don't know yet, but we don't know that. And so
Beautiful.
you are going to have to keep continuing, like nothing changes. Nothing changes.
But
Because
people,
right now, people have their hopes pinned on this, and they think right when they get that shot, everything is okay.
yeah. And that's what people are saying to me. That's
I
what I
know.
heard. I'm like going, I don't think that's the way it works, honestly.
I know. You know, and oh
Trash.
man, even when you know, when you try to have this discussion with people, and there are some articles out about this, and it's not like they're Mercola articles,
Yeah.
but when you try to have this discussion with people, people just get effing rude to
Oh
you.
yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
people are like, "Ah, you're just a Trumper. You think this is a hoax." And I'm like, "That's not what I'm
No,
saying."
we're
They're like,
talking
"Well, where
about,
are you getting this bullshit? Fox News? You what on the Mercola website? Whatever it is." But like, they just get rude.
and I've had it up to here with that crap. Anytime you question anything, people are like, "You're a Trumper" or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? I think that like questioning things is like any kind of ideology. You need to question everything our government tells us, everything like the CDC says lately. I mean, you need to at least look at it. And people who
Well,
blindly
it's
take
not
it,
even questioning it. That's what the information is. I
I
know,
know.
right? And like, I pull it up. I'm like, this is what it is. Like, this isn't me just
No, I'm not making this shit up.
pulling crap out of my ass like this. And they will not hear it.
No,
And the sense of betrayal that is going to happen. I mean, if you want to create an anti-vax movement,
this is how
they
you
are
do
doing
it.
a really good job of setting this up.
Oh yeah, and if it goes terribly wrong, if people get sick, no one's going to trust anything the government says ever.
Well, and when they roll it out and people
It,
realize that no, we're still locked down and we're going to be locked down for months, it's not going to be pretty.
I
People
can
are just
imagine.
like they're pinning everything right on there.
You need to question it, and I think that people who believe in it like wholeheartedly are in for a rude awakening when this when it starts coming out, and they think, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. And then it's December next year, and they're like, where the hell is
Yeah.
it?
Well, that's okay. They believe in science, though.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I thought I did too, but I guess I don't.
Yeah. I guess I don't know.
I get tired of that. I don't know. Like, I don't like name calling at all. I think we are all actually in the same situation. We all hate it. I mean, I don't know that many people who are like, yeah, pandemic. This has just been the greatest year ever. I love being alone all the time. I hated going out anyway. Like there's got to be a couple people out there who's like, yeah, I hate
But
restaurants.
do you think there are some people that are getting perverse enjoyment out of this
Yes.
because this is the most exciting thing in their life and they get to be uh, cruel and mean to other people
Yes. Oh my God.
and feel like they are superior and other people cheer them on while they're doing it.
I think they get that double, like that good feeling, like, look at,
They do.
I'm just doing my part. And like,
I
you know
know.
what? Oh, I just can't be like that. I want it to end. I really do. And yes, it would be nice if it is an actual vaccine. That would be super sweet if it was an actual one, but it's
You know,
too
I'm,
soon. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I
This
mean,
is
I hope it works. I hope it's safe. I hope it's effective. I hope, um,
I don't want people to get hurt. That's the thing. That's like,
exactly.
when there's when I say it, I'm not saying it like, "Oh, I want it to fail." I I really don't want it to fail. I don't want it to fail. I don't want people to die because that means people could get sick, they could die, and I think rushing things
I
is
would love it to be
dangerous.
successful.
Oh
I am
god.
rooting for it to be successful.
What is the psychosis called? Oh man, I know what you mean, like like where you get obsessed with like
You're
things
talking like
that
Munchausen's by proxy or something.
kind of like that where you like want somebody to be sick, I don't know. Yeah, that's Munchausen's. Yeah, I know. Oh, there's so many medical like names that I'm just like, oh, it'll come to me in the middle of the night, and I'll be like, oh, it's this. So anyway, yes, it has been like an odd time.
It has been an odd time. So, but I don't know. How was your? We all had a non-Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man. Oh, I had two Zooms givings. That was, yeah. You just see me roll my
I
eyes like,
hate that there's even a word for it.
yeah. It's it is what it is, and I had one with my parents and my brothers, and we were all in like different places, and
Zoom's giving.
Zoomsgiving, and it was nice to talk to them. I always like
Yeah,
talking to my family, but seriously, it's not the same. That
yeah,
one we were all a little more normal in that one because we like just like visited. We weren't trying to eat the whole time. And
right.
Thanksgivings, right? That's it. My husband's family, they actually tried to do the whole thing like a virtual, like have like the turkey dinner and everything. And I'm gonna tell you, there's reasons you don't eat dinner in front of a camera unless you're into that ASMR like sound and smacking thing. Oh my god! So we were like, ugh, ugh. See, oh yes, and then that we had snow. I had snow crab legs, and they were delicious. I loved them, and we had turkey. It was nice smoked turkey. It was great. We had a lot of food, and somehow I didn't gain any weight. It was amazing. It was like the Thanksgiving miracle. It was all that Zoom time. It healed me. But yeah, I think watching people eat is a little bit weird on the TV, you know. But we had an okay time. I don't really want to do it again next year. Now that I've had that experience, I'm like, I checked that box off. Let's not do it again. Let's hopefully next year not have that. How about
Yes.
you?
Although we're getting set up to have it for Christmas, so
Yeah, I know. My parents are
and
super bummed.
probably Easter.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding.
I know. I'm just like my
I'm not
parents
kidding.
are getting older, man. I can't like not see them for years and years. That would really suck.
Yep.
I might have to
That
build, can I build a tunnel from my house to their house and just like get like a little train car that just zoom all the way there and back so I can visit them. But like I don't know how you do it. Yeah, it would technically be breaking the law, but
oh, what's $1,000 fine or 90 days in jail?
I'm like, we live in the same house. It has a tunnel. It's the basements are connected. What?
It is one household.
It's one household, man. Like, an hour and a half away. Oh, okay. Here's my question. They had this rule in place that you couldn't
Mhm.
have more than one household. Have you
Right.
heard of anybody getting arrested or a fine for it?
Not in our state. In other
Not,
states, yes.
did they?
Yep.
Um, I've heard of lots of our fearless leaders saying that they'd have the
Oh, yeah.
rule, but then they had their own parties
Yep.
and broke their own rule.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mayor of Austin, Texas,
Right.
did a video message telling his residents how important it was to stay home
I gotta stay home.
from his timeshare in Cabo.
Oh, yeah, it must be rough.
The day after, he hosted a wedding for his daughter.
Oh, what a suckhead. Suckhead. I'm just like, I'm so mad. Oh, like, oh, you gotta be safe. Except for me. I can have a party because I'm above you little dirty people. And
Yeah. And then
we're above COVID.
Denver mayor tweeting from the airport,
Oh, no.
telling people not to travel,
And
how
he's at the,
dangerous it was. Don't travel.
why, why would,
Tweeting from the airport 30 minutes before he got on a
oh,
flight to go have Thanksgiving with his family in another state.
at least don't say anything. You just be like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But, don't be a total hypocrite and just go, you can't do it. And then go and do it.
And that's the thing. Like, just don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of governors and mayors and other states that are like, yeah,
And like that county commissioner in California.
yeah,
And she, in their meeting, is talking about how dining at a restaurant, even outside, is a super dangerous activity and people need to start taking it seriously. And then that evening, she voted to close the restaurants to all dining, inside, outside, didn't matter.
yeah.
She left the meeting and went to dinner at a restaurant.
What a bunch of shit.
Like, left that meeting
So
and ate at a restaurant.
it's like they don't like it. The rules don't apply to them.
No. Oh, of course not. Rules are for plebes, Heather.
I know. Why not make rules that you would want to follow? I mean, wouldn't that make more sense?
Well, and they know. They don't just think. They know.
They know
They can totally flout it, and there are no repercussions for them whatsoever. Because not only are they not going to get the fine or the jail time or anything like that,
Yeah.
they're going to get reelected.
It's
They
true.
flat out. And the fact that their constituency is not screaming at them to resign and that their local media is not pounding on them,
Yes. I mean,
is ridiculous.
they broke the rules, their own rules. Their own rules. It's not like they broke a
While
rule.
they're berating other people.
It's like, you people are being dangerous.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm gonna go to a party and like hang out without a mask on. Bye.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like the now 2 events that we found out that were at that French Laundry resident that was done by the governor at
Yeah.
one event, and
Oh,
then I believe the San Jose mayor at the other one the next night.
I mean, it's just that's so unreal, Kara. I honestly.
But there's no repercussions for it. So of
Like,
course they can do that. What the hell do they care?
how
They
can
don't
we
care.
we have cancel culture, and yet
Not
people
for them.
and they're afraid, like like you even say the wrong thing and you like lose your career, and somehow these people in like high positions of power, they can like do this, and I mean that's part of why they keep doing it. They're nothing will ever happen to them.
Because the voters in their own party do not hold them accountable. They give them a pass.
It's like, well, like at least you'll do what I
They were
want.
sorry.
They were sorry. I guess it's okay.
And they're just trying to keep us safe.
No, it's just for do, blah blah blah. Yeah, oh my god. No fine, no news. People love them. It's very Orson Welles. Yes, we are in the darkest timeline right now. Cancel culture immunity. I
They
like it.
do. They do. Travis, that is exactly right. That is cancel culture immunity. And they have it.
Oh, it breaks my head. It is a scary state of affair these days. So much. So
But yeah, I mean, those kind of things drive me nuts. And it would be one thing if they weren't berating people, right? If they
Yeah.
weren't saying, you have to do this, you have to do this, remember, do this, do this, do this, do this. Um, at the same time as saying, because this is what they also do, because they do this messaging, which is all of you people aren't doing what you should, and that's why we're where we're at. And
Yep.
so I don't want to, but I'm going to have to impose these rules on you because you cannot be trusted.
Tough love, baby. And
Right.
then they're like,
While they are doing
so,
the exact
so
opposite.
maybe it's not us, but it's them, and
Oh,
they
it
are
is
the
them.
reason why we are having this.
It is them. And because people are always saying, well, what do you think government should be doing or blah, blah, blah. And yes, as libertarians, we think people should, on an individual basis, make the best decision for them possible. Are there things that government could be doing right now to help? And this is some seriously low-hanging fruit. And I mean low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but they don't do it. And so what are some of those things? Well, they could have relaxed the certificate of need that hospitals have to sign on to be able to add additional beds
Yeah.
to their hospital. Because remember, we were going to raise capacity. Okay, well, they're not giving them their expanded
No.
certificate of need so they can even expand. In Minnesota, we have less hospital capacity now than we did in March.
And also, we're at almost full capacity everywhere in the state.
So we have fewer beds and fewer medical personnel
Yeah,
than
'cause
we
they laid
did
off a
in
bunch too.
March. Than we did in March. And in
Yeah.
fact, 2 days ago, they just pulled more beds away. So we lost even more capacity even 2 days ago. And I'm not saying as a percentage because the beds are taken. I mean, taking beds away, like
Why would
taking them
they do
away.
that now?
The other thing that could be super easy to do is medical students need to be able to get into the hospitals to do their clinicals so that
Yeah.
they can graduate and then they can be hired. Right now, they can't. They can't get in there to do their clinicals. So our hospital staff, which are slimmed down because they've been laying off,
Yeah.
they can't hire new people because they haven't done their clinicals, so they can't bring them on board.
So it's this like revolving problem where if they just let them help, you'd have more medical professionals, so
And
everyone wouldn't
Pat
get
is
burned out.
asking where were the beds taken away? I don't know because they won't explain. But I have screen caps from a week ago. So I have the screen cap from a week ago showing what the capacity was, number of beds and number of ICU beds, not used, but total as a possibility. And then I have it from 3 days ago when they changed it and it went down. So I don't know. And our
Oh,
media does not ask. They do not ask. They don't go, well, gosh dang, this
what
number is
happened?
lower than this number. What happened there? So there are like a long list of things that our government could do, um, which most of it is just relinquishing a little smidgen of power or relaxing a regulation slightly for a short period of time that
Right.
they will not do. They refuse to do. So,
What are
but
you
it's
gonna do?
our fault.
Yeah, it's our fault. Anyway, oh, there's Travis posted the COVID
Yeah, and that
tracking.
is the dashboard. So when you go on that dashboard, you'll see what the numbers are now, but they don't show you what they were historically. So if you don't screen cap them periodically,
It's gone.
and in May, our governor said we need 3,000 beds. That's what we have to get up to. So if you give us this time during this lockdown, that was the first lockdown, we're going to get our capacity up to that.
So
We
we
aren't even
when
half. We aren't
so
even half.
so basically he set this number and he's never going to get to it.
Never even tried.
Never even tried. So if that's what we're waiting for,
Never
it's
even
never
tried.
going to happen
All of that sacrifice
for
that
nothing.
individuals and businesses did, right down the shitter. Nothing for
I
nothing.
mean, I don't understand why he would. I mean, he's lying about it, or at least there's a reason that they're not telling us. And why aren't they explaining why they're not doing it? That shows me there's something sneaky going on.
Well, and when they had um, hospitals and everything shut down for 7 weeks. Remember, everything was shut down. You could only go in for extreme emergency, or you could go in for COVID. Um, these hospitals and medical centers were losing millions, tens of millions of dollars a day, like
Day.
a day. Okay, they can't operate that way. So
No.
after a few weeks, they were saying, look, we can handle this. We do need to open up because we're losing all this money. Nope, kept it locked down. Finally, it was Mayo Clinic working with several other hospital systems set a date and said, on this date, we're opening. We're
Yeah.
accepting patients again. And when they did that and they did that publicly, then that's when our governor was like, oh, okay, yeah, on this date, you can open up because they were going to do it anyway.
Yeah, because he didn't want to look bad.
But because of that, then you had hospitals that had lost and medical centers that had lost so much money that they did some pretty extreme layoffs.
They did.
And it has never recovered since
Is
then.
is that what it takes though to make some of this go away? Is if big like hospitals, big businesses all get together and say we're not
Yes.
doing this anymore?
Yes.
I mean, like help us please. Help us. If you're out there, make it happen. Yes.
Exactly. It was like
The
churches
churches.
because they weren't going to allow churches to open. And then, especially the Catholic Church and I believe I think the Lutherans as well um, said, we're having services. So, like that's just what is going to happen. So,
Everyone's got to get together wherever you are connected. You have to
got to
use
band
your
together.
got to band together because like they're not going to listen to like one by one of us, but maybe if we got
Well,
big
and
groups,
we have to trust each other.
we
We
do.
have to work with each other and trust each other instead of, making it adversarial.
Yes.
Um, you know, work with businesses, work with hospitals, work with, with them. They know their areas of expertise.
They do.
They know um, areas that they could change and adjust, but they also know how their industry intersects with everything else, right?
Yeah.
And if you do this action, it's going to have all of these repercussions, which may not be very visible from the outside, but when you're inside the industry, like that's what you know. So, you know, work together on this. Have it be, have it be truly voluntary how we're working together.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ideal. That's the American way, really. If we work together as a people, we can make things happen. And I know right now they like us being divided. And it's
Yes.
yeah,
Absolutely. So anytime you hear people in the government or you hear health officials or that kind of stuff, and they are, doing the finger wag,
a
you
little bit.
people aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Remember all of the stuff that they could have done and they're just choosing not to do because it's a long list. It's a long list of things that they could be doing that they chose not to. And there's a long list of things that they did do that really screwed up. And they don't want your attention on that. So they would rather have you screaming at each other
Yeah.
and fighting each other than noticing what a really bad job they did. You know, proponents of government, they're always saying, situations like this are why we need government so that you can, when a situation like this happens, you can marshal your resources and work together and you have it coordinated. So, like, this is supposed to be when government shines. And
It's
they have screwed the pooch 6 ways to Sunday, but they don't want you to notice that. Instead, they want you to scream at your neighbor and hate your family.
I feel like in 20 years we're gonna look back on this and go, kids will be saying, why did they let this happen? Why did this keep going? I'm like, because they divided us.
Mhm.
And if we
Yeah.
all would just work together, it would have been a lot better. And if our
And it'll
government stood up and did what
Yeah.
they had to do.
Yeah, and they could have shown. Like,
Yeah.
they could have done amazing things and shown, and then people would be like, "Dang, that government, we love it," right? But instead, they're proving us libertarians right.
Yes.
But
Hashtag screwed the pooch 2020.
yes, exactly. Totally screwed the pooch. And it will have to be in 20 years, because for the next 20 years, when people write the story of what happened, it's going to be the people who are involved and who are in power now. And so they're going to be writing it from a perspective of justifying what they did.
Yeah.
After that 20 years, it'll be people looking back at it and they'll be like,
They screwed the pooch.
that was awful.
Yeah.
That was a series of just horrific bad decisions and systemic failures all the way through.
All the way through. And we call it now. They'll believe us in 20 years. They go, those crazy chicks were right.
Yes, on that weird little obscure podcast.
We're the only ones.
And a really good limoncello recipe.
Yeah, I know. Like the random shit we have on this show sometimes. It's my favorite thing in life. So, oh my gosh, we're out of time already.
Oh my God, we are.
We got off. And, like, we're like, oh, we don't have that much. We had a lot. Oh, God. So, on that note,
Yes.
we are glad to be back. We're thankful to see all of you. And we'll be back at our regular time next week. If you'd like to support us, you can send money to our Patreon account at patreon.com/Sweet Subversives.
Yeah, and then I might actually get a microphone.
Yes, Kara actually added one to our Amazon wish list. So
I did.
And that would be awesome, because I would love to have you have an actual microphone instead of a headset. But it's all good.
I feel like the AT&T lady from those commercials.
I feel like you're my IT lady, though. It's like, have you tried unplugging
Have you
it?
turned it on and off?
Turn it on and off. I'm like, damn it, I
You hit
didn't.
Control Alt Delete.
And then it works. Like, you may have done it 10
Oh,
times.
that was nice. Love you, Subversives.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are really glad to be able to talk to all y'all. This is the best fun. So, have a great week. Love you guys. Oh, and he likes a headset, so it's all right. You look like you're gonna tell us something like, yes, I'm talking to the home office, and they say that this has just happened. This just in. The president's dog, it ate a cat. Oh, the horror.
The president's dog is secretly a Russian spy and tried to kill him, and that's why he broke his foot.
That's actually probably it. Oh my God. I didn't think you'd actually tell them the truth. God, Kara, we're so toast now.
I didn't say anything about the Clintons, though. So
no, thank God, right? You can't. Then we're dead meat. So yes. So have a good week, everyone. We will see you next Wednesday on Hump Day, and maybe we'll solve all the world's problems next time.
Yes.
Have a lovely week. See you later.